Hello. I have quite the book haul to show y'all. Quite the book haul. Let's get into it. I have a stack of books that's probably about half my size of purchases that I've made within the last few weeks that I want to go ahead and share with y'all. I went a little hard the last couple of weeks because I built bookshelves and I wanted to add some more books to them, and so I went a little crazy, which means that I'm going on a book buying ban until January 1st. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I need to restrain myself for the last little bit of the year, and then once January 1st hits, I can bookshop away to my heart's content, you know? But for now, I need to chill. I need to chill. So I have 15 books. Yeah, I got 15 books. I didn't buy all of these at once. It was over the span of a few weeks, but it's a lot. This is like probably the most books that I've purchased in a few week time span ever. And so I thought it would just be fun to like chat about the books, some of which I've already dug into and started reading. Others like I plan to read pretty soon. But let's go ahead and get started here. So the first one is called Little Brother by Cory Doctorow. This is a like sci-fi type dystopian story about a teenage boy who is like one of the best like system hackers. It gets him in a lot of trouble because the whole world is surveillanced by this like networking corporation of sorts. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't dug into this one quite yet, but it sounded really interesting. It's also, the author is also who wrote the series Uglies or Pretties. Uglies, Pretties, and Specials. Those were like the young adult dystopian books. I read them when I was in middle school and I really enjoyed them. I didn't realize that he wrote like adult sci-fi or adult fantasy. So I'm excited. I just found this on a whim at a bookstore. Decided to go ahead and get it, and I think this will be fun because I'm dipping my toes into sci-fi. I've not read too much sci-fi, so if you have any sort of like recommendations for dipping your toes into sci-fi or like dystopian type stories, please let me know in the comments because I've dipped my toes in and I like what I've picked up so far. So yeah, Little Brother. And I think there's also a second book in this series as well. I can't remember what it's called, but yes. Anyways. All right, the next book I got is a thick boy. Got a thick book, and that is It by Stephen King. I've seen the movies. They terrified me as a child, watched them far too young, and I'm terrified of clowns. And I think this is perfect to get really scared. I like a controlled fear, so I feel like this is going to be really fun. I'm currently reading 11, I always get the numbers mixed up, 11/23/63? Where is it? 11/22/63. I'm currently reading by Stephen King. It's the first Stephen King book I've ever picked up to start reading, and so far I'm enjoying it. I think I am going to get the audiobook of it to listen to it while I'm at work, just because it is a long book. I am enjoying it, but I think it could be a fun time to listen to the audio book. Anyways, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about It. And I'm not sure when I'm gonna start this, but I want to read the story because if the movie scared me so much, like as an adult and as a child, even the new ones, like as an adult, terrified me. If it's able to have that type of effect on me, the book that it's based off of, I feel like is going to be 10 times more horrifying. So I want to challenge myself by reading this one. I'm not sure when, but I will get to this one at some point. It's freaking huge. It is over 1,000 pages. It's let me see. Page count. 1,153 pages. Help. Help me. Okay, so we got this one. Okay, and then the next book I got, I've never heard of this one prior, but it was set up on like the new release shelf for fantasy books. And this is The Gilded Abyss. The cover is gorgeous. It's like kind of glowy. But this is a sapphic romance-ish, but it's like a sapphic fantasy with romance set underwater in a submarine. It's the like main character protagonist and like the side character. They go into the submarine. The protagonist is like talked into like going down to the submarine in like the promises of like helping this other like town of sorts, a town or city, help this other city. But there's like, what she doesn't know is that there's like this disease, this like virus of sorts that is infecting everybody on the submarine, and they're like stuck in the submarine with this like quickly spreading virus that is not good. So this seems like a fun time. And here is some art inside. I love a good like beautiful end piece. And the back of the book, the cover, the side piece just make me want to read it. Also, what really sold me on it, after of course all the visual effects and like the synopsis of what the book is about, the opening letter, I thought, sorry, not the opening letter, the author's note sold me even further. So the author's note, it's like pretty short, but it says, "Please note the content warnings and read at your own risk. This book is not cozy, but it does have lesbians. And to my mother, who asked me not to write spice into my books, you may want to skip chapter 23. What can I say? It sells." And I'm like, yes, that sold me. It sold me immediately, and I was like, okay, I'm getting this book. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous because I haven't, like in the past, I haven't really liked books set in like water for some reason. I love the beach, love water, love swimming, but books that are like set out on sea, like pirate books, I haven't been into. The ones that I've tried at least, but maybe I just haven't found the right one. So maybe this could be my like introduction into loving aquatic books. We'll see. All right, now the next one I devoured. I already read it and I loved it. That is Ask for Andrea, and it's beautiful. It says, "Dead women don't forget." Oh, this book was so good. So you're reading from like multiple different POVs, and the POVs are women who have been murdered by this serial killer, and you're getting their perspectives from like how it happened and them attempting to like haunt him after the fact to make his life a living hell because he took theirs away. And it's so like gut-wrenching at times, and also just it just kept me on my toes. To get the perspectives like of the victims after they have passed, it was such an interesting take on like a serial killer story. The author had made mention in her author's note that she was inspired to write this type of story because of the Ted Bundy cases and how like Ted Bundy's story overshadowed all of his victims and what happened to them, and it became about Ted Bundy the person instead of Ted Bundy's victims. And I just thought that was such a true sentiment and something that is unfortunately true in a lot of cases. And so picked this one up. I've already read it. I gave it 5 stars. I would absolutely recommend this one. There's also a second book to this. I think maybe more so a prequel. No, it's not a prequel. It is a sequel that just recently came out. So once I'm off my book buying ban, I'm gonna get it. But until then, I'm happy with this story as it is and would recommend. All right. Now the next few books are for like the holiday season. I've never read any sort of like holiday books outside of, thrillers and horrors and like Halloween themed books, but I've never read any sort of like Christmas themed books. And I usually get in a book slump around the end of the year because things are so busy, and I don't know. It's kind of been a pattern of mine, and so I'm really hoping not to get in a book slump this year. So I grabbed some holiday romances to see if maybe that'll like kind of help push me along and keep me in the spirit. And so this is one of them. Make the Season Bright. This is another sapphic romance. And yeah, it's about two exes that are kind of like forced to be on holiday together and maybe rekindle their love. So I think it's gonna be cute. I think it's just gonna be a cute, fun time. Nothing too like high stakes. It just seems like it could be just a silly, fun Hallmark type of story. So grabbed this. And then I also grabbed Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. Beautiful sprayed edges with like the popcorn. Very silly. I feel like this is also similar vein. Of just like similar vein in the sense of like, it's gonna be a Hallmark silly fun time with some spice, and I'm down. I can't remember exactly what this is about. Oh yeah, tree farm, enemies, and then not enemies anymore. And that's a good time. So yeah, Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be perfect for December and just getting some fun winter romance going. All right, and then the last holiday Christmassy book that I got is Good Spirits. Got the sprayed edges as well. They're killing it with sprayed edges lately. It's working. It's working on me. I'm a sucker for a sprayed edge, so it's definitely working. And this is more so like Ghost of Christmas, like Ghost of Christmas Pasts. Ghost of Christmas Pasts, which I love that type of storyline. So I think this is gonna be just like, I'm gonna eat it up. It's gonna be a quick, fun time with some spice. I'm gonna love it. I think. We'll see. I think this one will probably, I'm guessing that this one will probably be my favorite, or the very first one, Make the Season Bright. I'm guessing one of those two will be like my favorite out of the 3 holiday ones that I got. But I have high hopes for this one because I love the, Ghost of Christmas Past and kind of going through and trying to make things right, or just self-examining things that you've done on like different Christmases in the past. And they've made movies about this, and this story has been around, and I eat the story up every time, so I think I'm gonna have a good time with this one. Okay, so the next book I got, I'm not sure that I will be reading this year, to be honest, but I grabbed it because I thought it would be good to read in November. I grabbed it because I thought it would be fun to read in November, but I'm on like a thriller spree, and so I just don't think I'm gonna get to it. But that is Fall at Once, and it's just so beautiful. And it's just like a cutie little like fall romance, cozy, nothing too high stakes, firefighter romance, sexy single dad, fake dating, and extra spice. So really just a fun, like goofy time. But I don't think I'm gonna get to it this year, but I grabbed it thinking that I would, and it'll just be waiting for me next year. I have no problems with that. So Fall at Once. And this is a part of the like Cozy Creek type series, which I didn't realize was a thing, but I've noticed a lot of these like fall covers floating around this year. And they're all by different authors, but apparently like within the same universe or the same town, this like Cozy Creek town, which I thought was interesting. And then the next book I got is The Princess Bride. I got this beautiful edition, these beautiful sprayed edges, and I've read half of this book a few years ago and was loving it, but set it down, didn't pick it back up. But the story itself, like the movie itself, holds a really special place in my heart because when me and my husband first got together on one of our like very first dates, we showed each other our favorite movies. His being The Princess Bride. I'd never seen it prior, and mine being The Labyrinth. And so have just such fond memories of that, and reading the book I think will just add more of that sweetness to it. So I'm excited. I will get back into this as just like a fun, silly time. When I was reading it initially a couple years back, I loved it. I was having so much fun, kicking my feet, giggling. It's just as funny as the movie, which I was a little worried that some of the humor might be missed, but no. Matches, it's spot on. Gives the same energy and the same vibe, so I'm excited. You scared me. Why?
Sorry.
Hello.
You left the coat right there?
I did, but I wasn't good. I didn't need it right now.
Oh, do you want to try to take it back in the fridge?
No, I want it now. Thank you. And them purrs are ready for you. Love you. All right, and the next book I got, I'm currently reading and am having a really good time with, and that is The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. I never know if I'm saying his last name correctly, but I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it. So this is really good. I grabbed this one because I really enjoyed Hidden Pictures by him. I thought it was a really well-paced thriller. I wasn't expecting the ending. The twists and the turns were really fun. So I picked this one up, and it's about a father and a daughter who have an estranged relationship. And after years of not hearing from his daughter, he gets a call from her inviting him to her wedding. And she's marrying this extremely like well-off man coming from a well-off family, and something just isn't right. And so the dad is trying to figure out what's going on with this family, because something seems off with the man that his daughter wants to marry. And it's pretty good so far. Like already I'm only 52 pages in, and I'm hooked. I'm really hooked. After filming this, I'm going to get back to reading this one. So yeah, I have high expectations. I like I mentioned, I liked Hidden Pictures a lot, so high hopes for this one, and already it's fast pace and keeping me on my toes and keeping me interested and intrigued. So I'm having a good time. And then I got The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood because like it's so pretty. Because it's just so damn pretty. Look at these end pieces. Little spicy, cute. I've tried reading Ali Hazelwood a couple of times. I tried reading Bride. I did not like Bride. I couldn't get into it. I didn't like I didn't like the writing style. It was reading to me more like a contemporary than a fantasy, and I think I was looking for a fantasy of sorts, which is totally fine. I know a lot of people have really enjoyed her books and really enjoy Bride and Mate, so just not my cup of tea. So I'm excited to try to get into like what she's known for, STEM romance, and I'm hoping that I like it. More so, I got it because it's beautiful. I'm a sucker. I am a sucker for a sprayed edge, and this is just chef's kiss. So, not sure when I'll be getting into this. I feel like it'll be a good summertime read, because I feel like that's when I get into more of my like romance mood. I'm a heavy mood reader. It's hard for me to plan a TBR or like what I'm gonna read in a month or what I'm gonna read that day, because I go based off of the vibes, man. You know, I gotta figure it out in the moment. And even in the moment, I could change my mind and be like, you know what? I'm actually in the mood for something completely different. So we'll see when I get into this one. I have heard such good things about Allie Hazelwood, so I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy it. I want to give her a fair shot, so I really want to go in to reading this with as much good faith as possible, even though I've tried reading some of her books previously and was not interested. It probably just was because I wasn't in the mood. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna give her a fair shot. Plus, she came out with a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Sprayed edges, hardback, beautiful end pieces. She spoke to my heart. So hopefully the story does too. All right, and then this one's a fun one. So I actually found this at a little free library on a morning drive. Wasn't looking for one, but I found a little free library, and this brand new copy of The Guest by Emma Cline was inside. And I've looked at this book quite a few times at like Barnes and Noble, but I always set it down. I'm like, okay, I'll maybe. It intrigues me at first, and then I always set it down and never pull the trigger and actually purchase it. So I'm glad I found it. It must have just been waiting for me. But this is more so like literary fiction, slice of life of sorts. You're following our protagonist, who is just down on her luck, and you're following her basically couch surfing over a span of a few weeks and just surviving. So I feel like it's gonna be kind of a heavy read because it does not seem to be any good luck in her sphere. So we'll see when I get to this one. But I had a phase where I really liked like literary fiction and like weird lit literary fiction books, and like female rage and just really interesting stories. Like think Bunny, think what's the author? Melissa Broder, The Pisces. I had a phase of really being into literary fiction. I've since like not really had the urge to read a literary fiction in quite a while. So it's good to have this on my shelf because I know eventually I'm going to be in the mood for something like that again. And I feel like this will be right up my alley. It'll be the perfect fit for the perfect moment. But that moment is just not now, but that's okay. Got it. All right, we only got a few more. We got a few more, so bear with me here. Lights Out. I did not get the special edition. I did not think the special edition was all that great. Gonna be super honest. It did have sprayed edges, and like I've mentioned, I'm a sucker for sprayed edges, but it didn't, I wasn't gonna spend the money on it, on the special sprayed edged edition. When I found a nice floppy version of it. I've heard great things about this. I like a good dark romance every now and then. It's not like my main genre that I go for, but every now and then I do like a dark, fucked up romance, and so I've heard such great things about this one. The synopsis of it sounds like a good time, and I'm here for it. When the time comes for my next like dark romance read, I'm here for it. The last one I read was Wolf. Ooh, that was a good one. If you've seen that one, actually I have it on my bookshelf. Wolf. This was a fun time. I had my gripes with it, but it was fun. It was a good fun time. So this was like the last dark romance that I read. Pretty thick one too, but it was fun. So highly recommend if you are looking for like a new dark romance. If you like motorcycles, a good sexy time, fun. And in the same vein as Lights Out, I also got Tourist Season. I did get the Barnes & Noble exclusive with the like sprayed edges. This is not my like favorite cover of sorts. It's like really, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but it is fun. And I really liked Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I thought that book was like really interesting to read and really fun, and also like gut curdling. Like there are so many disgusting moments in that book, but I had so much fun reading it. I tried reading the second book, which I can't remember what it was called, but it followed 2 different characters, and I have issues doing that when books are part of the same world, but you're reading from a different perspective, different characters completely. I tend to not like enjoy that very much, because I get so invested in the first characters that I read about. I want to keep reading about them, not this other character, like not these other characters that I have to learn about and like really understand their personality. And so I tried reading the second book in that trilogy. Is it a trilogy? There might be more coming out, I don't know. But I like stopped a quarter of the way through. But this has nothing to do with that series. And so I think this will be, again, another just like fun time when I'm in the mood for a bit of a dark romance with, murder. So yeah, Taurus season. If you've read this, let me know how you enjoyed it, and if it gives the same magic that Butcher and Blackbird did, because I really enjoyed that first book. It was so interesting. Okay. The last one. Yes. The Faceless Thing We Adore. Look at those edges. I'm a sucker. Oh, I'm a sucker. Okay, so this is a horror book about a woman who quits her day job, gets rid of her toxic boyfriend, cuts all of her hair off, joins a cult, and lives on a commune. And obviously that doesn't go well. So this already, I am extremely intrigued with cults, documentaries on cults, books about cults, even if it's fictional, because I find the concept of it very interesting. I have a family member who was a part of a cult unknowingly for years and years of her life, and she got away and got out of it, thank God. But because of that, I have like a special, like even more of a special interest in cults and like reading stories about cults. So this seems really interesting to me, and I'm excited to get into this one. I read like the first page and was immediately like sucked in and wanted to keep going. So felt like that was a really good sign that the story is going to be good. If I'm ever unsure about whether or not I want to buy a book, I read the first page and see. I read the first page to see if I'm going to be intrigued to flip to the second page, or if it's just kind of boring. And that's done me pretty well for like choosing good books that I've enjoyed, is reading the first page. Not always. Sometimes there's some sneaky books that start off really strong and flop near the end, but it's worked well. It's worked well in the past. So anywho, I'm excited for this one, and it's just a gorgeous book. So we'll see how this one goes. And that'll do it. That's my humongous book haul over the last couple of weeks. And now I'm officially on a book buying ban and have to just focus on the books that I have and reading what I have. I have Kindle Unlimited as well, and I'm reading the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, so that doesn't break the book buying ban to read those, but because I'm not buying them technically. I'm buying the service that allows me to read them. So anywho though, so those are all the books that I have purchased, and now I'm officially on a book buying ban until January 1st. If you have read any of the books that I showed here, let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed them or plan to read them in the future. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Bye! Bye.